Now, several national government departments are being criticized for making employees work in unsafe buildings. For example, the Department of Military Veterans, or the DMV in Hatfield, floods when it rains, affecting the basement as well as the gym daily. The Public Servants Association, or the PSA, asked for an inspection of the building back in February, but has not received any response about when that will happen or perhaps even if it will happen. Zamani Dladla, Public Servants Association's Labour Relations Officer, joins me now for a quick conversation around this. Babu Dladla, thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it. I want to draw a holistic picture if I can, and want to start right at the beginning, if you'll allow me. Just help us understand the state of some of these occupied buildings then as well by PSA members and what those really look like. Good afternoon to you.
Thank you, Arabile. Good afternoon, and good afternoon to the viewers. Maybe we should start with the Department of Military Veterans, which is located in Hatfield in Pretoria. It's a building that had a lease which expired about 5 years ago. The first time when the employees occupied that building was in 2014. And the lease now has been going on for a couple of years on a month-to-month basis. And the employer is failing to provide us with a compliance certificate, because when it rains, during the past 2 weeks, when it was raining in Pretoria, water was flooding through. Employees did not have space to park, and the gym as well that employees are using to exercise was also flooded. What makes matters worse as well, the building is a double-story building. When employees that are on the top level are flushing toilets, you can even see the water seeping through on the walls. You know, some of these offices have no windows and there's no ventilation at all. And the employer, we have gave the employer options that they must at least find other alternative accommodation, or they must allow the employees with the tools of trade to go and work from home up until they resolve their issue.
Yeah. Zamani,
today we had a meeting. Yes?
No, continue, because I wanted to find out then, what have they said? What has the Department of Military Veterans said? What has the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure said once you've shown them, and I can imagine they've seen what the state of that building is?
The Department of Military Veterans has uploaded and indicated that they are aware of the issues. However, they are relying on Department of Public Works and Infrastructure to secure a new building for them. We don't take that, because the Section 8 of the Occupational Health and Safety Act clearly says that the employer must, as practically possible, provide a safe working environment for its employees, which is free from any health risk. And the employees there are facing a health risk. Furthermore, there's only one entrance which is also used an exit. There is no assembly point in case of emergencies. You know, even see that some of the walls are even cracking, you know, while the employees are being forced to work in that area.
Yeah, it just feels as though that the answers are always the same then. Is there further action you can perhaps put forward as the Public Servants Association? Because at this stage, the working conditions continue to be unsafe, and this is not the only building we're talking about, the one you mentioned in Hatfield.
We have approached Department of Employment and Labour to conduct inspection back in February, and they have not responded to us after a number of reminders to them that, guys, this is a ticking time bomb. You must go and do inspection and issue prohibition notices, because we cannot allow our members to continue working in that space. But we are going to continue again engaging the Department of Employment and Labour, because that's our only option for now. However, we have also in a meeting today deadlock with them, and we are going to proceed to declare a dispute, because this is a matter of mutual interest. It might even lead to an industrial action where employees should picket that they are moved away from this building, because there is no way that they can fix the building while the employees are inside.
And I was about to ask then, how have the employees actually responded? And are they looking to protest all of this by perhaps staying away or any other action?
Employees are gearing up for the protest action. Obviously, we have to follow the normal processes to get the GPSSPC involved as well, to issue a non-resolution certificate, and then we'll go on protest, because even the Department of Employment and Labour is not coming to party.
A year ago, the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure said it would need about 14 billion rand in order to keep all the government buildings well maintained and in running order. A year later, it will still maintain that it receives less than 6 billion rand from the budget. How exactly do you think perhaps they could be maintaining these buildings better or prioritizing certain buildings as well?
It is public knowledge that government owns a number of buildings within the Pretoria CBD, and most of those buildings have been hijacked. You know, our take is that the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure must prioritize evicting those people who have hijacked these buildings, renovate those buildings, and then give them to the departments that are renting the space, because you will appreciate that most of these buildings that have non-compliance issues with OHS are buildings that are rented out to the departments, while government has its own building that could be renovated, and these employees are moved into those buildings. So we are not taking the fact, we are not going to wait anymore. The department, the government has its own building. They must renovate them, and they must move those employees there, unless there's some people within the high echelons of power who are benefiting through these tenders, which are continuously not ending.
Those that have been occupied then by, as you made note of, their illegal occupants then with some of these buildings, especially then, it would require then the assistance and help of law enforcement. And that becomes another long saga on its own then. Do you think that that is something that needs to happen quite vigorously from this stage onwards?
That is possible. The law enforcement agencies are a state of government as well. You know, it's arm of the state. Those could be used to evict those people, because they are there in those buildings illegally. So what is it that prevents the government from evicting those people? You know, as I said earlier on, we suspect that some people are benefiting through kickbacks of renting of the rent money that is being rented out of these buildings, which are non-compliant.
Yeah, I mean, that would be an interesting allegation on its own, and an interesting investigation for the same man who is currently under investigation, and that is the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure. He has made note of saying that he would like a new state-owned company that deals specifically then with government buildings. Do you think that would be of benefit, or would that be just another waste of government money?
You see, Arabile, these issues of downsizing the government into agencies, we do not support it. Recently, there was this BMA which has just come up, which has sprung up. You know, it's one of the ways of the employer to make sure that they limit the rights of the workers by creating all these agencies. Most of them fail. So that is not the way to go. That is not the way to go. When government owns their own building, which they can be used to house their own employees.
Ultimately should be doing it themselves, is the message there from Zamani Dladla. Just a quick note that government, or the state, is the country's biggest real estate owner, with about 88,000 buildings and about 5 million hectares of land that together are estimated at more than 155 billion rand. Zamani Dladla, appreciate your time this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us here on Newsfeed PM.